Because some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
بركة القهوة بركة القهوة شاي بركة القهوة بركة القهوة شاي بركة القهوة بركة القهوة شاي Call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakal Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders which are a great millstone. Peace and blessing to the sincere Akim pushing his truth and sincerity and diligently putting the videos up throughout the week to feed the sheep. This is McQuad from the Trump in the VA camp. I'm gonna get right into it. So it says armed militias helps reopen Michigan barbershops. Now the reason why I brought this out because we know right now we're moving into the time of the race wars and upwards of the people and sedition among men. Okay, because all the prophecies that are of late are starting to roll out right now, and we see right here it's a form of sedition among men. And this just got me thinking on back, what was it? I believe it was a couple of months ago when, here in Virginia, they had militias that were armed and ready. Yeah, it was, I think it was like thousands and thousands of people came out here in Virginia to protest because they wanted to keep their certain guns or whatever. They didn't want E to take away their guns from them. So it was like thousands of them came to protest with their guns. And it was like this whole state of emergency was like a big deal. And now, as you see, they keeping that same energy. And now you got what? You got people right here. Exactly what it says. Armed militias help reopen Michigan barbershops, where they're actually standing outside the barbershop, guys with like automatic weapons, while the barbershop opened back up, and obviously daring police to come to try to shut them down. Watch this. We got some videos down here.
Hi, Facebook. Happy Saturday. It's Bria Jones here with Mid-Michigan Now. Gotta give it a few seconds for you guys to tune in. Let me know that you're watching and where you are watching from. If you've seen the headline or the subject line of this video, you know that I am in Owasso outside of Carl Mankey's barbershop off of Main Street. I just wanted to bring you guys live here for an update. This is a story that we have been following since Monday when Mr. Mankey decided to open up his salon and spa barbershop to the public despite the governor's orders to stay closed until after May 28th. Now, again, you can see that there's literally a line outside of the barbershop. There's a line to get inside. Yesterday, Mr. Mankey was issued a health protection order from the state attorney general, and some of the people I spoke with today say they are here to make sure that he is not arrested. They said that they will line themselves up against the door to make sure that state troopers cannot arrest him today if that's something that will happen. Now, again, he was issued a health protection order from the state attorney general. She deemed this barbershop an imminent danger to the public and ordered him to shut down. And that's something that she's looking to enforce on Monday. So he has until Monday to close. However, we did speak with him last night, and he says that he does plan to be at work on Monday. But I just wanted to give you guys a live look so you can see these are the supporters that are out here today. A few dozen people out here. They say that they will protect Mr. Mankey at any cost. They're just here to show their support for small businesses. And again, those who are just not tuning in, this is Owasso, Michigan. We're in Shiawassee County this morning. This is just a look at the line. You can see people are, I'm gonna get too close. People are lining up outside of the barbershop. There's literally a line to get in to get your hair cut, which has been pretty much what we've been seeing the last few days. But this is just, this is a pretty decent line here. At least about 20 people that are in line here, standing inside, right here, coming out. These people are all in line to go inside. People are driving by, people are honking. And just to reiterate what I said earlier, it was issued a health protection order from the state attorney general last night, and in a release that you can find on our website, michigannow.com, it says they plan to enforce that on Monday if he does not close. But again, like I said earlier, we talked to Mr. Mackey last night, and he says that he will be here cutting hair on Monday. But I just wanted to bring you guys a live look out here. This is the scene in Owasso this morning as the community, a lot of people coming by, rallying, showing support. And there are also people that are driving by that are unhappy with this decision and do want him to close. But the people that are here right now, these are people that are in support. They say that if state troopers or police try to arrest him today, that they will create a barrier so that that does not happen. So these people say that they are supporting small business. This is unconstitutional, and you can hear from them at 6 o'clock on the Michigan Now. And hopefully you can hear me. I do have a mask covering my face. But again, I am at Carl Mackey's Barbershop.
It is day 6 of Owasso barber Carl Mankey defying Governor Whitmer's orders and opening his barbershop. As you can see, dozens of people are still gathering outside of his business to show their support. This morning, there was a line of more than 15 customers outside the door. Mankey has received 2 citations so far from police. Members of the Michigan militia say they will take action to keep Mankey from going to jail.
And yesterday, 6 troopers came in to enforce the governor's order or to issue a cease and desist order. And so we are here today to make sure he does not get arrested. We are willing to stand in front of that door and block the entrance. So, yeah, the police will have no entry there today.
Now, the Attorney General's office sent a statement about the Owasso barber last night. It reads, in part, quote, as a result of his continued operation, today his business was deemed an imminent danger to public health in order to be shut down by the MDHHS director. If he refuses, the Department of Attorney General will request an order from the Shiawassee County Circuit Court on Monday to close his business.
What was your reaction when you saw the state police?
Well, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, most of them are probably younger than my kids, so it doesn't. I'm too old. I don't care about all this stuff, this nonsense. All I want to do is work. If they want to play their political games, I guess maybe that's what they want to do. Yeah, that's fine. I don't have any animosity towards the governor or towards the attorney general. Whatever they feel they have to do. I know that an awful lot of this stuff is politically driven. Well, she's not my mother, not my mother at all. I send her all my love, and I'm sure her parents love her, and I'll send all my love to the Attorney General, and I'm sure her parents love her too, but I don't have any animosity toward them. They're just doing what they do. It's just this kind of I've been through 14 presidents, 14 administrations. I was born under FDR. But this is the first time I've ever seen anything, like this. And to say that a haircut isn't essential. You talk to a guy that drove up here from Livonia, or drove up here and called me from Queens wondering how he could get here to get a haircut. This type of thing. For men, haircuts are essential. That's a fact. I've worked in this business long enough to know men. And for somebody in the government to decide what's essential and what isn't, from that standpoint, it's pretty silly. And besides, I don't see much difference between what I'm doing here and what they're doing in Kmart or Walmart or Walgreens. Everybody's wearing a mask, everybody's running around. You know, I've got spaces here in my chairs, and I've got hand sanitizers, and I've got a sanitizer over here with ultraviolet, and wearing a mask. And yeah, so I mean, all these things are, I'm within the guidelines of, so I feel it's kind of a discriminatory thing, you know, to have me selected out, that I can't work, you know, after I built this business over a period of 60 years, you know, and I'm just not about to roll over on it. You know, I'm just not. I need the income. It's the way I make my living.
What do you think you mean to this community? What have the people around here said?
Listen, you're going to bring me to, you're going to choke me up here, so. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. Yeah, this is. I thought I was going to be out here, you know, twisting the wind by myself. There's one of my beautiful daughters right here. So yeah, you know, I'm in the game. You know, I'm in for the long run. I'm in full in. You know, so I'm not going to roll over. I'm not closing. Unless you want to drag me out of here in handcuffs, which they probably will. You know, that poor woman down in Texas, for God's sakes, you know, they mistreated her awful. So, you know, I suspect that they'll probably do something similar here. I would expect that they came over.
So Yabashim Yashai, he got that spirit of rebellion out here. It says the pandemic and resulting lockdowns are catalyzing new tensions between the people who want the economy reopened and the state government that wants non-essential businesses closed for virus containment measures. The increasing presence of the militia at state capitol buildings demanding local economies reopen has occurred in the last several months. So right here is the pictures of these people coming down a state building. That's Pennsylvania, that's Ohio, Kansas, and Dakota. And I was down in Washington probably like a week ago, and I seen all these trucks lined up and all these people out there protesting in front of the White House, basically against the lockdown and all this other crazy stuff. So Esau, but the majority of these people who are doing these protesting is E. Okay, he's the one out here protesting this against this. And Yahushua already spoke, when if a nation divide against itself, it can't stand. So E going up against E, this place's got a recipe to be destroyed. It says, if lockdowns are extended through summer, like what happened in Los Angeles on Tuesday, when officials extended the stay-at-home order by 3 months, this could certainly lead to increased tensions between people and state governments. Right, because we know ultimately there's going to be a big sedition among men, and these people are gonna they're gonna try to take everything back. Let me see. So let me get this right here. Let me get to Matthew 24. Here it is, Matthew 24:7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And we see all these things happening right now. Okay, especially right now with the kingdom against kingdom and nation against nation. Okay, we see that happening. You got the Jake that died in Georgia. He just got knocked off by some Edomites. And I heard a brother from Atlanta talking about Charlemagne the God, talking about some, if you're so-called black, you gotta go get you should go get a gun. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that real quick. See, Charlemagne the God to the black community: buy guns for protection from vanilla ISIS. Vanilla ISIS. It says Charlemagne the God encouraged blacks to go buy a gun to protect themselves against white ISIS amid the Ahmaud Arbery controversy, who was allegedly killed by two men, Gregory and Travis, in Georgia on February 23rd. Charlemagne the God said, "My thoughts are rest in peace and condolences to his family. I wish that brother had a gun on him while he was jogging and defend himself against those thugs, those goons, those terrorists. I call them vanilla ISIS. That's what I call them. They hunted him down like he was a deer. I would tell my brothers and sisters to buy a legal firearm and learn how to use it to protect yourself and your family. I am, and I think when you are a black person in America, owning a legal firearm is a form of self-care. That's my thoughts on that. I wish he had a gun on him while he was jogging. I would much rather see him in prison fighting for his freedom as opposed to being in a casket right now." He added, "People should own legal firearms to defend against these kind of attacks." That is what I said. Now, as far as the justice system, I don't have in faith in the justice system. I see plenty of white people get off for killing unarmed black men in this country. So I do not have any faith in the legal system. So therefore, that is what I'm telling all of my brothers and sisters to go to buy yourself a legal firearm and learn how to use it to protect yourself against those kinds of threats. Second Amendment. So you see Charlemagne the God is telling the Jakes to basically go get some firearms so that they can protect themselves. And ultimately, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, he's stirring this up for it to happen. And like I said, this all going into the wars and the rumors of wars, and also the sedition among men. 2nd Esdras 15, and a nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom, which nation goes into nationality. 2nd Esdras 15. And verse 16, it says, at 15, it says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And this is why you got the militias going out, basically protecting this guy at the barbershop doing what he's doing, because they're not regarding what Trump and him is talking about. So you got people, all these militias and things are going to state capitol buildings and things like that, armed, because there's sedition among the people. They're not backing what they're talking about. It says, "And one people shall stand up against another people." And this also goes into what Charlemagne the God was talking about, telling us to basically go get, telling us to go get some guns to protect ourselves against who? Vanilla ISIS, what he calls them, which is actually a pretty nice term. I'm gonna have to start using that. Vanilla ISIS. Okay. But until I come back with another one. But with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shemi Al-Shai, Ba'Shem Rakal Kadash, Adawan Ratazat Thumb, Tamayim Akim Wa, Akwaf Miyakal. Shalom.